spend a lot of time on my own recharging my batteries, and I'm actually a bit more sociable now than I was before. I'm getting quite energized from social media for the first time ever. It's been something that I've avoided completely, apart from for marketing purposes. But now I'm starting to see the benefits of social media, and people are joining me each day on my Instagram live for daily meditation. I'm just trying to create some daily habits. Because it's very easy. I mean, I'm doing it, half of it is doing it for myself, so I've got something to get up for each day. So I've got to do my meditation, and everyone joins me for the meditation, and it's great. I've really been enjoying it, and then I have a Q&A afterwards with some guests or other in the wellbeing or mental health space. So it's been, for me, I appear to be thriving in this environment, even though my income has absolutely disappeared. But yeah, I'm actually loving and appreciating life at the moment. But as mindfulness will teach you, things will change 1 minute to the next, if not 1 day to the next. So I'm always on guard for that. So yeah, but today super positive, and yeah, it's been a great last couple of weeks for me actually.
Nice, and we've got Nancy joining us. We've got Thraxton joining us.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
And Tom as well. So Matt, I know, he's over in Shanghai, China. Nancy, where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles as well. And where are you from, Tom? You're down the Shire?
Yeah, Sydney. So yeah, Cronulla Beach, actually.
And Samantha's Bondi. Good old Bondi.
Hey, Samantha. I was just interviewing
you guys
Samantha
are doing,
on my podcast. There we go.
You're doing a podcast soon, are you?
Well, we did an Instagram live together just half an hour ago. Yeah.
So whilst we're just waiting for some more people on, we'll get Matt. You can tell everyone what Shanghai's like, because you're coming out the other side, aren't you?
Yeah, so I guess we've kind of had about 8 weeks of sailing these stormy seas, and it feels like we're coming out the other side as you guys are just heading into it. So it's kind of a strange little timeline, but I feel really lucky because our cafes are open, restaurants and bars, people are going back to work, the gyms have opened in most cases. So life is kind of getting back to normal. Obviously, there's still the financial debt for a lot of people that haven't been able to work for a couple of weeks, and there's still many businesses that haven't been able to open. Up in Beijing, the government laws are a lot stricter, so all the gyms are still shut there. So a lot of the guys in my industry haven't been able to go back to work yet. But where I am in Shanghai, for example, if you're teaching a group fitness class, you can still teach your class, but you have to wear your face mask. Everyone has their medical checks, temperature checks coming into the room. The studio capacity is only 50%, so it's reduced. And then the class schedule is reduced as well. So there's more time between classes because they come in and disinfect everything, clean everything through. But, out on the streets, everyone still has to wear their mask, and you've still got a bit of social distancing. People are still sort of apprehensive about being out and about. But yeah, we've had our lockdown and we've come through the other side. So I guess in a sense, there's a little bit of hope for all you guys out there that are going into your lockdown, that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. But I guess the advice coming from here is, in China, the Asian culture is very compliant. So when the government said, right, you guys need to stay at home, everybody did. Whereas what I'm seeing in the UK and in the USA and in Australia is people are still going out. You're still seeing these pictures of heaps of people down at the beach, or they were at the pub, or in the USA going on holiday and spring break and stuff. And it just didn't seem like people were really taking it as seriously for whatever reason. But here, people locked down for those 2-3 weeks. And it seems that we contained the virus and the numbers were restricted. And we haven't had many new cases at all since we've been going back out. So it's been positive. Yeah.
And now he's back onto it. So Raquel's just joined us. Hey, Raquel, and Hillary and Amelia. And we've got Ella as well. How are you guys?
Good.
And where have we got everyone from? So we've got Raquel from Washington. Ella, you're in the US?
In New York, yeah.
New York. Oh, so you've got the worst of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in northern Michigan, so we don't have it too bad yet, but down in the Detroit area, they have it pretty bad.
wow. And what about yourself, Amelia? She's on mute. Hey, Wednesday. Wednesday.
Hi, I jumped on late. So what was the question?
Oh, we're just saying, where are you from?
I'm from St. Pete, Florida.
Oh, nice. So how is it over there? Okay? Oh, not too bad.
Okay. It's everybody's stressed, just like everybody else around the world. But, we're hanging out at home, and most people don't seem to be, there's not a lot of compliance, but they're cracking down on them. So,
That's good.
anyway.
Well, there's some more keep on coming through, but I'll introduce you to the big man himself, Mr. Jeremy Jackson. So Jeremy is an amazing guy. I've known him for about 4 years now, and we actually met when I went to Los Angeles about, was it 3 or 4 years ago now, Jeremy? How long was it?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
3.5, yeah.
3.5. So yeah, we struck up a friendship, kept in touch, and then when I kept on seeing what he was doing with people in the US in terms of mentoring people through addiction and recovery and going through meditation practice and breath work, I just thought through the campaign we can start connecting people online and yeah, just getting people to do some virtual meditations and some virtual chats. We've got some clinical psychologists coming on, psychiatrists. So yeah, I'll hand it over to Jeremy. He can tell you a little bit more about himself if you don't know him already, which most of the people do from all the years of success he's had, and tell us more about breathwork.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Really honored to, hey, thanks for the waves and the love. And I see some familiar faces and some friends out there. Thanks for joining and supporting. I know we got some meditation pros on the call with us right now on the Zoom call. And maybe some of you have never done any type of meditation, or you've had experiences with other meditations. But, first and foremost, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to do this with everybody, because I'm sure I'm not alone in having weird energy and, there's some powerlessness, right? There's some things that we don't have control over right now. And being confronted with that can be interesting. It can be new. It can be different. And really, kind of embracing what we do have control over and what we do have power over, our perception and our reactions and what we choose to focus on. So, the opportunity for me to be of service and to share this meditation with you guys is really helpful. Like, it feels really good that I get to give and maybe help somebody else right now. So if no one else gets anything from this, I'm already a winner. So thank you for that gift. But hopefully you will definitely get something from this. And what we're going to do is a mini version, a sneak peek, if you will, at breathwork, holotropic breathing meditation. And this is something that I came across about 5 years ago that impacted my life deeply. I felt the overwhelming presence of Creator, Source, God, Father, Sky, Mother, Earth, whatever you want to call it. Spirit was just radical, and it was just like a warm blanket. And I felt understood in that moment and embraced in that moment, and it gave me a lot of peace. So normally we would need about an hour to go through this meditation. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys hopefully the meat and potatoes and the structure so that you can maybe try it on your own, because it gets kind of aggressive and it gets a little bit lengthy to really get there, to really kind of astral project, to go somewhere else. It takes a little bit of work. And essentially, it's a breathing meditation. And the most important part is a 2-part inhale and a single exhale. So welcome to my bedroom, by the way. I'm going to get up on my bed so I can show you my belly. All the breathing is in the mouth and out the mouth. We don't breathe in through the nose or out through the nose. And some of you will find it hard to force yourself to stay in your mouth. A lot of people that do yoga find it hard to get out of the nose and into the mouth. And for this particular meditation, for this particular mindset, it's by breathing in the mouth, we're going to get more into the spirit. We're going to stay out of the head, which is the nose, the mental, and we want to get into the spiritual. We want to get into the deeper self. So we're going to stay in the mouth. And the first inhale fills your belly real big as you can get and as deep as you can get into your guts and into your diaphragm. So as you inhale through your mouth, your belly gets big and releases down really as deep as you can. And the second inhale is going to come up into your chest as high as you can get up here. So if you can kind of see my stomach here and my chest, we're going to go releasing the guts and then feeling the biggest part of your chest, and then you exhale. So it's in through the mouth, big belly, in through the mouth, big chest like a superhero, and then an exhale. Would be a faster version. Okay, so it's in through the mouth, belly, in through the mouth, chest, exhale once. So you're inhaling twice, in, exhale once. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody get that? Anybody have like a question before we move on?
I have a question.
Okay, cool.
Can I lay down or is it supposed to be like sitting?
The absolute best way to do this will be laying down. Absolutely, and we'll get into that.
Okay.
So I'm glad you asked. Any other questions? Okay, cool. So what I've found for me to be the most useful is to start very slow and deep. It's kind of like a dance move, right? It's hard to just jump into a new dance move, but if you do it real slow and you do it correct, then as we speed up and as we speed up again, you'll have that rhythm and you'll have that neurological kind of connection through the mind and the muscle. So when you do this by yourselves and when you do this at home, or if you try this, and I really, really hope you do, you're going to want to go for a good 30 minutes. We'll probably get 15 here. But I like to go nice and slow, deep, a relaxing 10 minutes, and then half as hard as you can. Give it 50% of your effort for like a good 5 to 6 minutes. And then I like to go for an all-out sprint, everything you can, for a good 4 to 6 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll set up a playlist. I'll set up a 10-minute playlist of some really nice, relaxing music that's super calming, maybe rainforest music or something like that, rainforest sounds, whale songs, something real specific. And then I'll go into maybe some classical music or something a little more up-tempo for 6 minutes or 6 to 8 minutes. So when that slow, relaxing music cuts off, I don't have to open my eyes. When that new music kicks in, I know, okay, I'm going to go half as hard as I can. I'm going to do 50% of my best. And then something more intense, something, more dramatic, maybe some more emotional music, some music that really pulls at your heartstrings. Because when that music changes and goes into your new 4 to 6 minutes of specific music, you'll know, okay, now it's time to give it everything I got. So that's just some suggestions that you can use at home to best do this. This is the most powerful meditation I've ever done. This is a DMT releasing meditation, dimethyltryptamine, which is known as the spirit molecule, which can separate dualities and have you kind of leave your body or have spirit come into you. So you know, I just can't say enough good stuff about it, and the capabilities of where you can go with this, and the breakthroughs that you can get from it, the just a sense of being so in the moment, maybe like never before. So I do hope you try it, and I hope if anybody wants to message Glenn or me on Instagram with any questions after, please feel free, because I want to make sure you guys get the most out of it. So let's go ahead. I should have had a timer. I'm just gonna guess. Let's go ahead and do 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna lay down. It's best to have your feet uncrossed and your palms up to find the most. You can do it sitting down if you have to, but laying down is the best in the most surrendered position possible. You're gonna find yourself wanting to cross your feet. That's shutting yourself off. You're gonna find yourself wanting to put your palms down or grip, or you're gonna want to do stuff that is not gonna help. You want the palms up, you want the feet uncrossed, and you want your head touching the ground. You don't want a pillow propping your neck up. On the floor is really the best. You can do it on your bed. For camera purposes, I'll do it on my bed. But you want to go ahead and find that most surrendered position. Or you can do it in your chair. And we're just going to go ahead and do it together. You'll be able to hear me breathing. So there's 2 breath holds we're going to do. And I'll take you through the breath holds. If you tune into my voice and you tune into my breathing, I'll take you through these. So if everybody finds their position and their spot, get comfortable in your spot. Own your spot. Be safe in your spot. Let's go ahead and fill our bellies real deep and slow. Chest. Exhale. Belly. Chest. Belly. Chest. Exhale. Keep going just like that. Big belly. Fill it big, deep, deeper. Big chest. Like a superhero. Exhale. Keep filling that belly really big. See how deep you can get down into your belly. How low into your guts can you fill with air? And up into your chest. How high into your chest can it meet your neck? And exhale. And as you keep breathing just like that, I want you to stretch deeper into your guts and higher into your chest. Find untouched regions of your inner self with air. Keep breathing. Bigger belly. Bigger chest. And as you keep improving and striving for a deeper, bigger belly and a broader, fuller chest, you can slow down. You can quiet your mind. You can see the clock on a wall and make that second hand tick as slow as you want, or even stop. Big, deep belly. Big, broad chest. We're hoping to activate, uncover, and discover parts within us. Many parts, many players. Many memories, many places. Keep slowing down time. Keep getting bigger belly and bigger chest. Can you hear your own breath? And as you keep getting bigger and deeper and broader and higher, sometimes I picture an ocean and my belly is like the shore. And as the swell of the waves go out to my belly, that little shore break crashes on my chest and the water rushes up, almost touching my neck, and rushes back out down the shore. And it swells again in my belly. And I'll picture that wave, that shore, and that swell. We're just going to take one more minute here, slow, to really find whatever you want to find. Just keep breathing is all you have to do. And if your mouth gets dry, you just lick your lips. Swallow, it's okay. Just get right back to it. If you have an itch, if you have to adjust your shoulder, you just adjust and get right back to that breathing. So what we're going to do now together, in 10 seconds, take those last few slow, big, cleansing, relaxing breaths. In 3, 2, 1, we'll go to 50% now. The music on your playlist just changed. You're going to give me half of your best. Should sound something like this. Big belly, big chest, exhale. Big belly, big chest, exhale. 50% might be faster for some people, it might be slower for others. Just make sure, check in, you're giving half of your fastest, half of your best, half of what you're made of, leaving only 50% on the table for later. You're going to push, meet me halfway. You might get dizzy, you might get tingles. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about anything. Just breathe into it. Whatever emotion comes up, whatever pushback comes up, whatever fears, whatever doubts, whatever questions, whatever twitches in the face come up, that doesn't matter. You just breathe into it, meet it with breath. Are you halfway as hard as you can? Make sure you are. We're digging into the guts with the breath deep. We're uncovering and discovering things that do not serve you anymore in that belly. So when you breathe deep into that belly, I want you to imagine that you're flooding a cavern. You're excavating. There's a tomb within your belly, down deep in your guts, and you're flooding it out. You're scraping the walls. You're throwing dynamite in there. You're doing an excavation dig for what you don't want anymore. I want you to take the next 20 breaths are dedicated to uncovering, discovering, and doing some digging into the guts, into the bowels of where you have been hiding things you don't need, that do not serve you. Hurts, pains, grief, guilt, shame. It's all hiding in your belly. It's been there. It doesn't want to be there. Let's dig into it. You're still big in the chest, though. Big belly, big chest. Mindfulness in the belly to let something loose today. You got 10 more breaths to dedicate right there to that. Some of you are being brave. Some of you are just decided to stop already. That's okay. Stay brave. Stay bold. Let's dig. I'm going to give you 5 more breaths in the belly. Somebody needs to go a little deeper and a little harder. Okay, now guess what? Here's the great part. Up in your chest, in the highest parts of your chest, that's where your love is. That's where your hope, that's where your purpose and your passion is. Everything that is your newness, an infinite space can open up right there in your heart right now. You already did some digging down below. Now bring your mindfulness to your chest. As that chest fills with air, it's creating infinite space for new love, new joy, new purpose, new passion, new gratitude. So breathe into that chest. The bigger that chest is, the more you activate that spirit. Have you stayed half? Are you still at 50? Can you push to 60? Can you recommit to 50? Did you fall off a little bit? Let's stay brave. Let's stay bold. Let's give this upper chest as much attention as we gave the lower region. Feel that chest being fed. Feel that heart opening up. Feel that love coming in. Yes. Stay there. We're at that 20 more breath mark. Let's dig. Some of you might need to slow down a little bit even and get bigger into the chest. Make sure you're fully activated. Some of you can push a little more. Some of you need to pull back, but make sure we're big in the belly and even bigger in the chest. Opening up that heart chakra, opening up that love and that purpose and that passion, and bringing light, being infinitely fed from the spirit of the universe, that even exchange, that beautiful existence free. Let's take 10 more breaths right there into the chest. Stay at 50, push to 60. Who's ready? Stay brave, stay bold, stay big. We're going to do a breath hold coming up. Get a few more breaths in. You need a little more love. You need a little more freedom. You need a little more activation. In 3, 2, get a couple more. Exhale everything. Everybody exhale everything. Blow it all out and take a huge breath in and hold it for 30 seconds. Big breath in. Hold it for 30. Big breath in. You might feel dizzy. Oh, that feels good. Hold it, hold it, hold it. We're going to let it out with a scream. All of us, all across the world and all the different nations and regions, we're going to scream to the top of our lungs. This is a shout for hope, joy, pain, sorrow, remorse, grief, whatever it is. 3, 2, let it out! Woo! Fuck you, coronavirus! Ah! Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you. This is our 3-minute sprint. Whatever you want to let out, let it out. We're going to go 3 minutes as hard as you can. 100%. I can't feel my face. I don't know about where you're at. Let's go. 3, 2. Like a lion is chasing you, like your life depends on it. Everything you have, bigger belly, bigger chest, faster, deeper, harder, everything you got. Don't lose the belly, don't lose the chest. This is 100% of what you have. What you have. I might be way faster than you. You might be 10 steps behind me, but you're doing your 100. That's all I care about. We're in this together. We want to tap into that interdependence, into that collective consciousness, to be stronger together, to be better together, to grow, to have a new experience today. Let's go. To be reborn in this moment, to be born again, to have a new experience, to be set free, to have that breakthrough, to have that compassion and that love and that sense of belonging and that sense of togetherness. Let's go. Halfway there, 90 seconds in, 90 seconds to go. Give me everything you got. If you just tuned in, join us right now. 60 seconds of breathing as hard as you can. If you're doubting yourself right now at home, it doesn't matter. Keep going. Let's go. If your face is cramping up, if your lips are tight, it doesn't matter. Release it, stretch it, let it go. You can scream again. Ah! Woo! Just keep breathing. From the belly to the chest, let's go 30 more seconds. Give me everything you got. Get those last 10 breaths and let's go. I'm with you. I'm feeling it too. Woo! I want to cry. It feels so good. The 3, we're going to take one more breath. Hold this one as long as you can. This is a big breath as long as you can. I want you to take all that energy. Go. 3, big belly, big chest. Keep going. 5 more. Take all that energy. Exhale. Become a vacuum, nothing, empty, a fresh vessel. Feel yourself new. Anything you want, breathe it in. Big breath. We're going to hold this. This is a baptismal breath. This is a renewing, regenerative, rebirthing, refreshing, cleansing breath in. And you hold it as long as you can. You hold it as long as you can, and when you finally cannot hold it any longer, you'll let it go and just be at peace, breathe normal. I'm going to hold it a little longer. You can push longer than you think. You hold that breath. If you let it out too soon and you want to take one more breath hold, go ahead and take one more big breath in and hold it. And when you finally release that breath, you just breathe normal. All the work is done. Anything you want in this moment is yours. We're going to take 5 minutes here and just enjoy, just be. Healing, forgiveness, peace, ascension, fulfillment, blessings, gratitude, clarity, freedom, bliss. It's all ours. It always was yours. For some people, this can last much longer than you think. I like to say, keep the question mark alive. Don't let that question mark fade away. There's more. There's a place to go. There's a guide who wants to come in and take you there, show you something. There's a place. There's a thing. There's a person. This is really the most important part. To allow. Just allow it. I encourage anybody who just wants to stay laying down with their eyes closed to stay in this moment, in this place, in this space, as long as you want. Even if you never come back on camera, even if you never say bye to anybody, you can just cherish this wonderful little yummy chunk of heaven as long as you want. Don't come out of it too soon. And if anybody is feeling like they got everything they needed out of it, come out slow, nurse your way back, hug yourself first, ground yourself first, thank yourself first. I didn't even breathe as hard as you guys, but I feel really good right now. So I'm going to ground back a little bit, turn my hands over to the ground. Ground back, rock back and forth a little. You don't have to start yet. So some of our awesome participants stay in their little Zen, awesome, cozy nooks. I think if anybody else has any questions before the time is up, so I can make sure you're well armed and loaded to do this on your own for twice as long to really get the full effect, shout them out.
I have a question.
Yes.
There you are. Okay, I just wanted to look at you. I've done breath work before, and the reason I've sort of don't do it as much as maybe I should, and I realize how amazing it is again, but I get so much pain up here. What does that mean?
Well, I'm certified under a guy named David Elliott out of LA, who is an amazing guy. He has some really great books, Reluctant Healer and David Elliott, Reluctant Healer. But metaphysically, the neck and shoulders is a presumed sense of responsibility. You have decided to carry more weight on your shoulders than you need to. And there's a lot of areas that come up specifically for people. Low back, if anybody had low back, tends to be financial worry, financial burden is kind of binds in the lower back. Mother and father energy is in the thighs, and the mask of approval that we wear. A lot of people, I tend to get a lot of facial tension and twitching, and this is like the mask, the people pleasing thing. So the shoulder stuff can be, burden, worry, just too much weight on your shoulders. I like to use different essential oils before I do breath work. that will create more of a flow. And you can always really just purposefully bring your breathing awareness to that area. Today I'm breathing with the intention to release burden, worry, and responsibility of what I'm carrying on my shoulders, because I don't want it anymore. Because where your awareness goes, energy flows.
Right. Thank you.
Right? Absolutely.
Hey, Jeremy. So this is actually my first time doing breath work ever.
Okay.
And oh my God, I had like a seizure halfway through.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see my face is red. I was crying. I thought I was gonna pass out.
Imagine if I had you for an hour.
I don't think I could have gotten through it. But what I found really amazing was that I had an incredible amount of concentrated energy in my solar plexus, and it was incredibly intense. Like, apart from the tingling everywhere, but it was like I didn't. What is that? Actually, I should ask you that. Do you know what that was? That was intense. Yeah.
Yeah, my whole body was shaking, but I've just taught 2 classes, so I don't know whether that's my neural system, like my nerve system going crazy. But so much that my dog came in and laid next to me and put a paw on.
Animals in general are the best, and you'll see that they respond like really
he
well
came
to this.
Paw on me and laid next to me just to check that I was okay. And I wasn't physically shaking, but obviously he sensed. That's why
the vibration inside,
came in and tapped on the foot. Yeah.
I've done these outdoors with people, and you'll have birds come right next to somebody, like strangely close to check them out. Butterflies, dragonflies, they're just like attracted to the energy. Even the most hyper of dogs in a room full of people will be totally into it, and very supportive through the process. So that's really cool to hear.
And I don't think I've ever held my breath for that long ever.
Man,
it was so easy to hold it.
I've seen 5 minutes. I've seen somebody hold the breath for 5 minutes. In one of these.
It felt really good.
I thought it was easier to hold it too than like when I'm swimming or something. Like if I'm swimming, I can't hold my breath as much, but I felt like I could hold it better then.
Forever.
We created an absence. We created an absence of carbon dioxide, a complete absence of carbon dioxide, and we 100%. Theoretically, when done right, we're creating 100% oxygen in the bloodstream. And that's what activates the spirit molecule, the DMT, the dimethyltryptamine in the brain, which you're only supposed to feel before death, right? And I think at birth. But it's totally accessible to us anytime. It doesn't run out. It is infinite. It's not finite. And we can use it anytime we want. And we all have energy within us. People feel different things, and I could speculate. One-on-one, I usually will get more of an intuition, or in a group setting. So Jacqueline, like one-on-one, I might have been able to feel a little more into what was going on with you, or maybe help you figure out what that energy was, what that warmth was. But there's just really no limit to what can happen, what can come up, and what it might mean. I'm sweating. I've sometimes people feel that vibration. When you feel that it's like you're twitching, but you're not. I believe that is actually the oscillation, the frequency that we exist at. And when you get into this meditation zone, you can actually feel your own existence, the frequency of that in which you actually exist.
What was amazing about that was that it was really powerful.
Well, congratulations that you were able to get that deep, and this was really just a sneak peek. So I'm glad you tapped into that energy. That energy is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. That's like chi force. You might become like a dragon master, kung fu.
I'll take that.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yes.
This is Tom. So look, I love that session, man, and I facilitate a bit of breathwork myself, more through the nose, out through the mouth.
Okay.
But I agree your description of how deep it goes into the belly opposed to filling it up in the head. when I do my own practice, you know, I do feel a lot more sensations up there as well as tingling. But today, breathing through the belly, I actually purged.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I do like a bit of blended breath work usually.
I can see it on you, tough guy. I can see it on you. Congratulations.
My eyes are so puffy at the moment. I was literally, my session was interrupted for 30 seconds of purging, man. So I don't know. It might be just the coronavirus, but no, I'm kidding, bro. It was a great. No, that was honestly amazing, man. And yeah, it's something, you know, I kind of would love to tap into a bit more and even connect with you a bit more on your kind of methods and as well as your reach, man. That would be really cool after this to connect.
Yeah, it's transformational, man. I think we need a lot more than our own heads to get through this, you know. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, bro.
My pleasure.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi.
It's Bob. How are you?
Hey, Bob. I saw your face. Good to see you, bro.
Hey, I needed some peace to go to work tomorrow because we have the coronavirus down at the prison.
Yeah.
And I feel peaceful now. Thank you.
Awesome, brother.
I needed that peace.
Thanks for jumping on with us, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Jeremy. Just from a mindfulness perspective, it was really interesting. It's quite difficult for me to teach people how to feel into the body. I mean, it was very, very difficult for me to actually feel my body. I didn't even understand what that meant 10 years ago. If someone said to me, you know, feel, you know, listen to your body and feel your body, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, because everything goes on in my head. But now it's very different, obviously, being a mindfulness teacher. But it's still challenging, and that's why we spend a lot of time at the start doing body scan meditations. Very basic, you know. Let me feel what let me feel my left foot, for example. But that, I mean, once you've done 10 minutes of breath work, you've got no choice but to feel the body. You know, it was really interesting. So, I mean, I can get to that stage after a while of meditating, but that's just like supercharging the effect. So I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. I found it very challenging. My mouth is very dry. I would have preferred to be doing it through my nose and out the mouth, but I guess maybe that comes with practice. So yeah, can I just ask you about the dry mouth thing, because I don't think.
Yeah, and there's tricks like I perch my lips a lot. So if you really poke your lips out, like you make the hole in your mouth smaller, it keeps your mouth more moist. So you'll find your tricks.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, but that was excellent. Thank you.
It's the whole
Thank
mouth
you so much.
thing. That was difficult for me at first, Jeremy, because I used to teach yoga for years.
Right.
All the way in through the nose, out through the nose. So that was difficult, but that was a very different experience. So thank you. And my ears were tingling and everything, but it felt fucking amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm used to through the nose too, so that was a strange adjustment because I do like yoga and daily burn and stuff. So
yes.
One of the things I noticed was when we were breathing normally afterwards, I was still doing the same breath.
Nice.
It just kept going. It sort of became the normal, which was really cool.
Good.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my best friend. I'm in Northern.
Hi, best friend.
And she's in LA, and we've been sorority sisters and best friends for 20 plus years, and she got on here because of me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I think it agreed with you then. You know, if naturally you were comfortable staying with the belly and chest breathing, then you know, obviously you kind of wanted to stay in that space and get a little more out of it. So that's a good sign. Sometimes I go so hard with this, I'm like, you know, I'll have to switch to my nose because I'll be so deep in the body that it's uncomfortable. You know, so when you're doing, just as a last minute little, you know, piece of info for you guys, if you do this at home and you go really hard and you get so much done while you're breathing, when you are done, you can switch right back to your nose to come back quicker, because the work can be very intense and taxing and be like, screw this, I'm wrecked, I've weeped, I've screamed, I'm done. I want to breathe in my nose now, get back into my head and out of my body. And sometimes if it's, you know, if it's nice and it's therapeutic. Then you stay in the mouth for the relaxed breathing at the end, and you can milk that experience. The nose and mouth has a lot to do with how this works.
Well, for me, it wasn't even that I was breathing through my mouth. It was back to my nose, but it was the same belly, chest, exhale. And
Yeah.
it was incredibly peaceful. Like,
good.
It was amazing.
I do that now before like my jujitsu tournaments. I'll do that in between like sets at the gym. I'll find myself going to that breath, and it does help. It does create more oxygen and a nice relaxation. So I'm glad you liked it.
I did.
I had some trouble getting it up into my chest. I could get the breath in my stomach, but I didn't feel like I was getting it up in my chest as much.
We can learn so much about ourselves with this meditation. So just like the girl who was feeling a lot of tension in her shoulders, obviously there's some responsibility, there's some heavy weight that she's carrying on her shoulders. So if this upper chest represents your love, your passion, and your hope and your purpose, then
Where'd it go?
Where did you go?
Oh, man.
The aliens took him.
On the beach in Baywatch.
Potentially there is a blockage.
Oh, there he is.
You're back.
Yeah, sorry. So I said, you know, this is a Zoom call, and, you know, potentially it's kind of hard to say for sure, but just, you know, you can learn so much about yourself in this meditation that, you know, I could say potentially there's an energetic blockage in your ability to fully accept purpose, passion, and be open to love, or open to that area of the body, if that makes sense. You know, if you sounded like you're brave in looking at your stuff, right? You were courageous enough to get into your belly, into your stuff, but maybe there's more room here, or there's more work for you to do here to really embrace and open up to more purpose, passion, and kind of blessings. You know what I mean?
I have a question.
Yes.
So I kind of got scared. Like, you know, I've done this with you in person before. And yes. I think the last time I actually elevated or levitated a little bit. Not elevated,
right.
Levitated. Right? I think so. And so what do you got to say about that? Like, to be doing this by ourselves, or by myself, I should say. So I just had to kind of like stop, because I was tingling. I was all that, right? And just kind of work my way into it. And then is it once a day? What do you recommend?
Yeah, if you could do this, it depends on how deep you go with it, and what level of work you're able to do or you're comfortable with doing. But I tell people that the only way to is through, right? So the only way to is through. And if you stop when it gets scary, you're never gonna get to the other side of that fear. You're never gonna see the sunshine on the other side of that storm. So there's some stuff that needs to happen, and that can very easily happen with the breath, and with commitment to it, and staying courageous, fighting back with the breath, meeting the fear with breath, meeting the tears with more breath, bigger breath, deeper breath, faster breath, can process so much more than we even know is going on. But you can't stop, or you got to chip away at it, and, you know, just maybe dedicate to smaller ones and start chipping away at it until maybe you can see it a little more clear, or know what it is. But but it's totally normal, and it's totally natural. That's why I created this nice and light, half as hard, all the way, because the way I was trained, it was 40 minutes of everything, 40 minutes of and it's all tears, and it's all screams, and it's all crying, and it's all laughter, and it's people convulsing. It's really intense. So I kind of created because I would find myself scared to even start. I'd say, I can't do it today. I'm not ready today to face all that. It's hard. So I go easy, I go half as hard, and I go all the way. So, that's maybe take a little longer in the easy phase, break in a little slower. But you got to meet that stuff.
I really appreciate
process.
you saying things like you might be tingling, you might be feeling this, because it's like, okay, it's all good. You might be feeling dizzy. I'm on track.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I've done this for thousands of people, and no one's ever passed out, had to go to the hospital, had a convulsion. I've never seen anything happen to anybody negative, other than being scared and quitting, is the worst thing I've seen happen.
No more quitting.
Anybody else?
So yeah, you seem to be able, hi Jeremy and Sam, you seem to be able to tell a lot from like where the tension's been released from. So for me, mine was my hands, and I've noticed so I'm a Reiki energy healer as well as a hairdresser, and there's a lot of energy that I've not been able to use, and I noticed as done it since a child, but I'll shake my hands, and it's something I have to do, but I know that there's a lot of energy in my hands, and I really felt them like cramping up and just like tensing. I can still feel them now. Like what's that?
Yeah. I get that too. And as metaphysically speaking, the hands are where we're able to fully give and receive love. Fully give, fully receive. This is the entrance and the exit point. Yeah. So most of the time, now the cramping hands is very normal. It's very natural. As a matter of fact, I would have painful cramps where I'd be crying from the pain. And that does not happen to me anymore. But if you're near a beach, you go find yourself some nice ocean stones, just some good round smooth rocks, and you can hold those suckers when you meditate and allow those to be like little conduits and batteries that you charge up and put all that energy in out. That can definitely help.
Yeah, I've got my crystals. I have my crystals handy.
Nice, good. I put the crystals like maybe on my forehead, on my arm, my thyroid, on my heart. Yes. But something about ocean stones have collected and compounded the most energy from the ocean, and they're just great like receivers, Yeah. So that helps, and just processing through it like it doesn't happen to me anymore. You'll go through phases if you commit to this work. You'll go through these crazy phases where you'll have overwhelming pain or stuff go on in different regions, and you'll address it, and then it'll be gone. And then sometimes you can breathe as hard as you freaking want. Nothing will happen. You just got to stay with it, and then you'll get to a whole new layer of the onion. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. It gets deeper and deeper. So a lot of stuff starts physical and then gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure, Sam. Thank you.
Cool.
Who else? Anybody else? You guys have been so freaking awesome. This was cool.
What made you want to start doing breath work?
Man, I had this crazy roommate that used to do it. And I was like, man, this guy's like channeling the devil. I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't want any of that around me. He's like, man, you got to try it. He went to these camps and came back, talking about how he was crying around the fire with the sage and all that. And I was spooked out by it, honestly. And as soon as I tried it, it just rocked my socks off, changed me forever. And I knew I had to go head first into it. And that was 5 years ago. So I was totally anti, basically. I was scared for probably 6 months before I did it.
How has it changed your life? What's the one thing you'd say?
It's way more than one, but intuition and giving me a heart for others on a deeper level. I'm kind of an ADD kind of guy. I hear a little whisper in the back of my head, but kind of ignore it, you know, when I'm with people, or, you know, I'll get a little something, but I'll be like, oh, I'm just crazy. It's like crazy thought. But now it's tuned those compassions and those intuitions in to where it's at the forefront. If I get a word from somebody for somebody, I'm able to really feel into groups and experience stuff with people, and get a lot of, I get as much joy and bliss and relief from feeling others' relief and joy and courage and bravery and work and commitment. Like, I get tingles, and I might as well be deep in the meditation myself, even though I'm not. I get just as much out of leading them as I used to do being led through them. So it's like a constant ability to let the pressure, the spiritual pressure out of the tire. It's really cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, guys, I have recorded this session, so if anybody does want to obviously go over it again and learn more from him, but you can always reach out to him. Jeremy is an absolute...
I can't believe we did it in 40 minutes.
I know, mate. Oh, no, we actually went... We've just come to an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we went over, which is cool, mate. But hope everybody got a lot from it. You can always connect
Stevia soda.
Jeremy.
Highly recommend.
What was that?
No, just a stevia soda. It's really good.
All right, guys. So if you do have any more questions, just shoot them through to me or Jeremy. I can connect you with him, or you can find him. Where can they find you, Jeremy, mate?
At Jeremy Jackson Fitness on Instagram, or just on Glenn's page. I'm sure you all found me off of Glenn's post, so I'm all up on that. At Jeremy Jackson Fitness on IG.
Into it.
Done. Check.
Of course, right. Hey, Jeremy, this is Kaz. Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
My pleasure, Kaz. Thank you so much.
I had a terrible time with Zoom this morning, 20 minutes trying to get my 20 people on my fitness session on board, and I don't know what happened, but I got very anxious, and I don't normally get like that, so I've really needed that. Thank you. Appreciate it. It all worked out.
Nice. It always does something.
Yeah, it does. So I had to remind myself. That's why I laughed at myself when you said yell, because I laughed at myself thinking I'm such an idiot, but getting so cranky at myself to start with, and not calming down at the time and taking control of, you know, allowing myself to panic, you know, had to keep saying, it's going to be okay. Just take a breath. It's going to be okay. So it all worked out. But thank you.
Yeah, I'm a little anxious about, like, in about a week and a half, we're going to be starting online teaching with our students. So
yeah.
Trying to use Zoom with all my students and stuff.
Yeah. I did have 2 weeks of success, but it's just happened for the first time. So I think I've had a good run, but I know how to calm myself down now. I think I'll just do the breath work, won't I? Yeah.
Heck yes, exactly. Yeah, technology can be a freaking mother sucker, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right then, guys, so if you've got any questions, I'll shoot them through to Jeremy or connect with him. But I want to thank you for coming on board. We're going to do a couple more. We're going to get some more people doing meditations. Chip's going to lead one, Samantha's going to lead one, Jacqueline. Then we've got some more people. I've got some musicians coming on to do some live sets. Just to keep everyone connected. So stay safe, stay happy, and see you soon.
Thanks for spending an hour with me, guys. I love you all.
Thanks, JJ.
Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you.
Thanks from New Jersey.
Jacqueline, inner dancing.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Good night.
Jacqueline.